Good morning, children. Today we will start new chapter, that is structure of atom. Now first we'll see what are called as atomic models, because we have to study about the atomic model. Now to explain the distribution of various subatomic particles like electrons, protons and neutrons in an atom, several models have been proposed. And the first model that was proposed is given by J.J. Thomson. So the first model was given by J.J. Thomson, and then we'll study about the Thomson's model. I am giving you just brief for the atomic model, that you can say the history of atomic structure or atomic models, because we know that some particles are present and these are electrons and protons. So now first the Thomson's model of atom. It was proposed by J.J. Thomson 1898, and then according to this model, an atom possesses a spherical shape in which the positive charge is uniformly distributed. The electrons are embedded on it so that the most stable electrostatic arrangement is obtained. The positive charge which is present in an atom is spreaded in a sphere uniformly, and the electrons which are negatively charged, they are embedded on it. It is also called as plum model because it is having the just structure like a plum. So this model was given by J.J. Thomson. So now in this model, the mass of the atom is assumed to be uniformly distributed over the atom. So this is the arrangement of the Thomson's model. Then we will study what are the limitations of Thomson's model. Now, although this model was able to explain the overall neutrality of the atom, but was not consistent with the results of later experiment that was done by the Rutherford experiment and other, that is alpha particle scattering experiment. So this model was discarded, or that was rejected, or that you can say the limitation of the Thomson's model. So it can explain the neutrality of the atom, because the atom is neutral. It has equal number of electrons and protons. But it is not consistent with the experiment of the Rutherford. So that is alpha particle scattering experiment. Now we'll see the next model that was given by Rutherford, and that is called as Rutherford's nuclear model. Rutherford and his student, or you can say the co-workers which were doing the research. So the Rutherford and his students performed an experiment which is called as scattering experiment, in which they bombarded a very thin foil of gold, and then he observed the observation of that experiment. So Rutherford and his team performed some scattering experiment. They bombarded thin foil of gold metal with the beam of fast moving alpha particles. You can see the structure, the model or experiment in your books. So then he bombarded the very thin foil of gold with the fast moving alpha particle. This portion is deleted, but I am teaching you because it is required. Now we'll see what are the observation of the Rutherford experiment. He observed that most of the alpha particles pass through the gold foil undeflected. There is no deflection in their path. So they pass throughout the sheet of the gold metal without any deflection. A small fraction of alpha particles was reflected by a small angle. Slightly they will move away from their path. So they are deflected with the small angles. They are deviated from their path. Now the third point, a very few alpha particles, that is 1 in 20,000 alpha particles, bounced back, that is were deflected by the angle nearly by 180 degrees. So they are the rebounds from their path and it will come back, that is with the angle of 180 degree. Now we'll see the conclusion made by the Rutherford. On the basis of the above observations, Rutherford drew the following conclusions about the structure of atom. Now the first point, the most of the space in atom is empty because most of the alpha particle pass through the foil undeflected. The alpha particles are helium-2 positive ions. So now because they are having the positive charge, so if the negative charge is there or the positive charge is there, then it will show the deflection. Because according to the Thomson model, the positively charge is spreaded uniformly. So if in this way the charge was distributed, then alpha particles should move from their path or they should be deflected from their path. But most of the particles pass through without any deflection. The second point is a few positively charged alpha particles were deflected, which shows that the positive charge has to be concentrated only in a small volume that repelled and deflected the positively charged alpha particles. So because the alpha particles are positively charged, due to the concentrated positive charge, they were deflected from their path. Now we'll see the third point. In the third point, Rutherford, through calculation, also showed that the volume occupied by the nucleus is negligibly small than the total volume of the atom. The radius of the atom is 10 to the power minus 10 meter, while that of the nucleus is 10 to the power minus 15 meter. That means the size of the nucleus is very small. If we consider the size of the nucleus is just like a ball, then it will cover the radius of 5 kilometers. So you can imagine the difference between the size of the nucleus and the size of the atom. So nucleus is very small and in which the positive charge is accumulated, and that's why alpha particles showed the deflection from their path. Now we'll study the Rutherford's atomic model. On the basis of these observations, Rutherford gave his atomic model. On the basis of above observations and conclusion, Rutherford proposed the nuclear model of atom. According to this model, the positive charge and the most of the mass of the atom was densely concentrated in extremely small region called the nucleus by Rutherford. The whole positive charge of the atom is concentrated in a very small region, which was called nucleus by the Rutherford. Now the second point, the nucleus is surrounded by electrons that move around the nucleus with a very high speed in a circular path called orbits. This model resembles with the solar system, in which the nucleus plays the role of sun and the electrons revolve like the revolving planets. So this model is also called as solar model. So in this he considered the nucleus as the sun and the electrons as the revolving planets. Now the third point, the electrons and the nucleus are held together by electrostatic forces of attraction. because the nucleus is positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. So the force which is working between the nucleus and the electron is electrostatic force of attraction. And then the radius r of the nucleus of an atom is related to its mass number, that is A, according to the relation r is equal to r0 a to the power 1 by 3, where r0 is a constant and